There's a story about Abu al-Khair, one of the great Sufi mystics who lived in the Egyptian desert in the 12th century. One day he was out gathering medicinal herbs with some of his monastic students, and when they returned to the monastery, one of the monks said, "I saw a snake and I picked it up and I wanted to kill it and throw it into the fire. But the snake looked at me and it reminded me of the Buddha. It had such presence and such peace, and so I couldn't bring myself to kill it. So I let it go, and it slithered away." Abu al-Khair turned to the young monk and he said, "You did well not to kill that snake, my son, because there are three kinds of snakes in this world. There are venomous snakes, and there are harmless snakes, and then there are those snakes that appear to be venomous but really aren't." The young man asked, "How can there be such a thing as a snake that isn't venomous?" And Abu al-Khair said, "When you see a snake that looks venomous, that looks like it's going to bite you, that looks like it's going to sting you, but it doesn't, that is the kind of snake that is the most venomous of all." He said, "This world is full of people like that. People who look like they're going to harm you, who look like they're going to hurt you, who look like they're going to betray you, but they don't. They're the most venomous people of all. So today we're going to talk about the most venomous people in the world, according to someone who spent 30 years living in the Egyptian desert with a bunch of monks, trying to figure out the nature of reality. We're going to talk about the people who seem like they're going to hurt us but actually end up healing us. That sounds interesting. Keep watching. When someone hurts us, it's easy to feel angry and bitter and resentful. It's easy to want to get even or to wish that something bad would happen to them. It's also easy to think that if we were better, nicer people, that wouldn't happen to us. But here's the secret truth about human relationships, revealed by someone who spent 30 years in the desert trying to figure out how the universe works. It's not the snake that stings you that is the most dangerous. It is the snake that seems like it's going to sting you, but it doesn't. In other words, it's not the people who actually hurt us that are the most harmful. It's the people who we think are going to hurt us, but they don't. Why is that? Because when someone actually hurts us, we learn something about the world. We learn that the world is painful. We learn that the world is dangerous. We learn that people can be cruel and selfish and inconsiderate. When we encounter that, when we experience that, we learn from it. But what do we learn from the person who seems like they're going to hurt us but does not? What lesson do we learn from that? Well, we learn nothing. And that is what makes them the most venomous of all. You see, we only learn lessons from our experiences if those experiences challenge our expectations. If we expect the world to be kind and gentle and then we have a negative experience, we learn a harsh lesson. But if we expect the world to be dark and cruel and cold and we have a positive experience, we don't learn anything. And so these are the people who are the most harmful of all, the people who cause us to have false expectations about the world. Because when we have false expectations, we are setting ourselves up for future pain. Now, this doesn't mean that we should expect everyone to be horrible and that we should always be on guard for people's nastiness. What it does mean is that we have to be willing to be surprised by the goodness of the world. We have to be willing to consider the possibility that maybe, just maybe, most people aren't out to get us, but we need to be prepared for that as well. The desert monastic continues. If you want to learn the art of dealing with people, he says, spend some time living in the desert with a bunch of monks. Maybe he was joking, but maybe he wasn't. After all, isn't that what we're doing here? Aren't we learning the art of dealing with people by hanging out together here on this video? Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it gave you something to think about.